guys, Matt here at the Icarian Complex, which is what we're calling our next level home gym. Today I wanted to talk to you about dealing with uneven concrete. And a lot of you, as you slowly start to bring equipment in and put it on your floors, whether it be your basement or your garage, or even if you're putting it in a facility like you rent out a spot and you're building a small studio, you're going to have to deal with uneven floors. It's just the nature of concrete. Even after you put stall mats on it, you may find situations where the stall mats or the rubber flooring kind of goes over a high spot in the concrete, and you'll end up having equipment that kind of starts to rock and doesn't sit evenly on it, or doesn't stay put. It moves around as people are using it. So today I wanted to do a video about a solution that I came up to help your equipment from moving around so much, or to help it stay more stable on uneven concrete. To start, I wanted to show you these rubber feet that I actually ordered off of. It comes from a company called McMaster-Carr. And if you're not familiar with McMaster-Carr, it's a company that they sell all kinds of components. They sell bolts, they sell even cables that you can use for replacement parts. It's just kind of an industrial supply company online, and these are specifically made mostly for like rubber isolator pads that would go underneath like an air compressor. You know, air compressors vibrate a lot, so these kind of isolate the vibrations out of it while it's running. So I think they're handy. They take a 1/2 inch bolt that you can just buy from McMaster-Carr as well, or even your local hardware store. So I am going to get a set of these and make a video of me putting them underneath a piece of gym equipment that I have. The piece of equipment that we're going to be modifying today is a Bodysmith T-bar row. It's a little more light duty than I would like to have gotten for our gym, but as you can see, it fits in this tight spot really nicely. And as you all may very well know, space is kind of a very big component of trying to build out any sort of home gym. So we're going to go ahead and work with it, and I am going to do some modifications to it and try to make it so it feels a little more solid and like a little higher quality piece of equipment. Here's a better shot of the isolator pad that I got, that I spoke about a little bit earlier. As you can see, it has the threaded hole in the center, and your 1/2 inch bolt just will thread right in there. So this is what's going to be going underneath the machine to try to elevate it off the floor a little bit and keep it from moving around so much. So what we're trying to fix here, as you can see, if I step on the front of this, you can see this whole thing moves around. It even kind of pivots on the high spot, and that's because it's sitting on a high spot in the concrete. So that would mean that anytime you try to use it, it's bouncing around a lot. If you lean back on it, you can feel it rock back and forth, and it just doesn't make the experience of trying to use this very good. And it doesn't even make you want to use it. So that's what we're going to be trying to remedy here. And that's what you're going to see me modify it for. So here you can see that I started filming after I already drilled the holes. I am putting 5 isolator pads on this, 2 at the bottom, and 1 at the very end to kind of support the weight when it's on the front horns. And then 2 are going to go underneath the foot pads to keep it stable while you're standing on it to keep it rocking around too much. A few items that I used when I drilled the holes in the bottom of this was this tool. I know Harbor Freight sells these. This one's a nicer one. It's from Starrett. This is good for creating like little starter holes to drill, and this is for sheet metal mostly. And what you do is you'll kind of make a mark where you want to start your drill, and then you'll just take this, and what it'll do is leave a tiny little dimple right there, and that way when you take your drill bit and you make a starter hole, it has a little spot to kind of start drilling in. I don't need to drill a hole there, so I'm not going to do that. So what I did was I started it with a smaller drill that I had laying around, and then I made the hole up to the 1/2 inch bolt size using one of these sheet metal step drills. Once again, this is an item you can get at Home Depot or at Harbor Freight or any local hardware store. And these are just nice to keep around. You don't want to drill super thick stuff with them, but on thinner metal, these are nice because you can just go through it and size it up until you get to the size of hole you need for your bolt to go through. So as you can see here, now we have a nice perfect hole that our bolt is going to be able to go through. After that, what we're going to do is take our bolt and stick it from the inside, and I also have some washers that I'm going to put on here, and then we're going to thread our isolator pad on. So I'll go grab those washers and we'll do that real quick. I suppose it's worth noting that I added lock washers and a couple other washers to kind of space them out underneath these as well. And the lock washers are under there to keep the bolts from loosening up. And then you can see it's as easy as just putting your box end wrench on the bolt head through the tube and then just hand tightening the pad until it's snug. So as you can see, now we have our rubber pads on these. It's nice and stable. It doesn't rock around anymore. You can stand on it. So I also have a set of these 1 inch to 2 inch diameter bar sleeves, I guess you'd call them. You can order these online from various people. I think Titan sells them, and even Amazon might have just generic ones as well. These are nice because I'm going to go ahead and put these on the ends here for our 2-inch weight plates, and they look a lot nicer than just having them real loose on there. So I'd say for our very inexpensive, I think we paid $50 for this. So it fits perfectly in this spot. It's not as like commercial grade as a lot of other stuff that we have in our gym, but it's definitely going to do the trick.